From Interior Alaska's most trusted news source, this is the Fairbanks Evening News.
Good evening, Fairbanks, and thanks for joining us. Our top story tonight: today across the state, many gathered in support of the Choose Respect campaign. Rallies were held in 160 different communities across Alaska to bring awareness to a rising problem of violence.
Alaska is ranked of the top states statistically in violent behaviors such as domestic violence, sexual assault, and others. The Choose Respect campaign helps to bring the problem to the forefront of residents to help put a stop to the problem. Governor Sean Parnell called today upon Alaskans to, quote, stand up against domestic violence and sexual assault by hosting rallies similar to this.
Yeah, events like this help bring awareness to the issue of domestic violence and sexual assault in our community. By showing up today as a community and supporting Choose Respect, it's taking a stand against domestic violence and sexual assault, bringing awareness to some of the prevention programs that are available and some of the services that are available for people, unfortunately, that experience.
Now, we will have more on the Choose Respect rally tomorrow during the Fairbanks Evening News and, of course, News Center Final.
The University of Alaska Fairbanks is pushing to upgrade their heat and power plant because it's nearing the end of its 50-year lifespan. Last month, they asked the state legislature to invest in the project, and today they held an open house for contractors. Organizers wanted to show the current condition of the plant, specifically the coal burners they want to upgrade. They estimate an upgrade will cost $245 million, but say a potential malfunction could cost more. The university aims to have upgrades completed by the winter of 2018.
It's a huge economic impact to the university if we have to start buying oil and producing our heat by oil. So that the advancement of this will help us provide, reliable economic heat and power well into the future.
Most importantly, we're asking for advocacy, that this is important to the community, that people understand what the project is and can advocate for funding.
A 52-year-old Roman Catholic priest who serves in the University of Alaska Fairbanks Parish has been placed on administrative leave following his arrest on a driving under the influence charge. Father Sean Thompson also is charged with misdemeanor drug and weapons counts. Thompson was stopped Monday on the Parks Highway near McKinley Village. Troopers say he acknowledged having a handgun in the truck's back seat, but didn't mention a second handgun in his pocket. Troopers say a small amount of marijuana was also found in Thompson's pocket. He is currently free on $5,000 bail.
Area fire departments and the California and Hawaii National Guard units will conduct a search and rescue and hazardous materials exercise Friday through Sunday here in Fairbanks. That's March 28th through the 30th. The focus of Alaska Shield this year is the anniversary of the 1964 earthquake that hit the state. In keeping with that theme, the exercise is simulated task force response of various Fairbanks resources after a quake. The units will respond to a simulated building collapse at the Fort Wainwright Rubble Training Site. Today, the 50th anniversary of the disaster, a lot is already going on across the state and even in the lower 48.
We're participating here this week is part of roughly a series of a dozen exercises that are going on across the nation, with Alaska being the focus. One of our primary goals in this exercise is to effectively exercise our communication and integration among the various agencies that will work together in support of the state and local communities.
And I'm thrilled that across the state, many will be acknowledging it. School children will be practicing drills. Businesses will be participating. In fact, this is I believe, the largest drill that has taken place in our state, and is actually coordinating with things happening in the lower 48.
A divided federal appeals court panel has sided with the state of Alaska in reversing a decision that reinstated the roadless rule in the Tongass National Forest. The 9th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals, in a 2-1 decision Wednesday, found that the U.S. Department of Agriculture had a number of legitimate grounds in a 2003 decision to temporarily exempt the Tongass from the roadless rule. A lower court judge had found the decision to be arbitrary. The appeals court panel sent the matter back to the district court to determine whether additional environmental review is required. Tongass is the nation's largest national forest.
All right, when we come back, we have your weekly That's Entertainment with UAF's production of Tartuffe.
Also, one group held a hiring fair today in the interior. We will have those details. Stay with us. And welcome back to the Fairbanks Evening News. The Coalition for Alaska's service members, veterans, and families, along with the Alaska National Guard and Army One Source, all combined today to host a hiring fair. Now, the hiring fair featured numerous businesses and agencies with job fair interactive booths and workshops that offered service members an opportunity to enter into a new career field. The fair also helped potential employees to learn more about resume writing and tips for future job interviews.
The main goal is outreach. It's to get the information out there, make sure our service members are aware of all of the services available to them through either the coalition or the state family program. Aside from that, it's to find our soldiers and service members quality employment, and if not quality employment, the skills to get them the quality employment.
The Coalition for Alaska's service members will host another hiring fair in the fall for service members and veterans. The News Center will keep you informed as to times and dates.
The University of Alaska Fairbanks Theater and Film Department will be opening its show Tartuffe this weekend. Tonight we take you behind the scenes to the costume department, and that's Interiortainment. Tartuffe is a French comedy that is being put on at UAF for the third time. As part of the time period, the costumes in this play really stand out and are beautifully done. I decided to see what goes into crafting these pieces behind the scenes.
Usually I sit down with the director first and we actually talk about when we want to set the play. Sometimes we like to set it when it was written, but sometimes we like to pick a different time period.
From design to fruition, the timeline to craft one of these costumes is months.
Well, the timeline is from this show we started in, I was drawing them in late November, early December, and obviously the show is going up in March.
Each one is hand-stitched and sewn to perfection.
One of these dresses, though, is approximately 100 hours of work.
No detail is left behind for this costume designer.
Actually, the longest part of this is all the finishing. So, like, on this coat, all of this trim here is hand-stitched on. So, and he's got it on his pockets here as well.
Tartuffe, presented by University of Alaska Fairbanks Theater and Film Department, will be opening this weekend. I'm Stephanie Woodard, and that's Interiortainment. Brought to you by the Finish Line Restaurant and Lounge. We'll have more on Tartuffe Saturday during the Fairbanks Evening News and News Center Final.
And it's time once again to get another great recipe from Lisa Gambardella with Fairbanks Flavor.
Hi, welcome to Fairbanks Flavor. I'm Lisa Gambardella, and this is my kitchen downtown at Gambardella's Pasta Bella. Today I have a special guest. One of my sisters, Allie, is here to make something for us.
Yes, today we're going to make a frittata. We're going to start out with some zucchini, sauteed in olive oil. We're going to add some chopped garlic and let that get toasted. Then we're going to add our caramelized onions, roasted red and green peppers,
and I'll put in some cooked potato. Great.
Add the potatoes.
What I love about this dish is it's great for breakfast, lunch, dinner, or a snack. And you can even have it for a brunch.
Yes, and now we're going to add the egg.
Okay.
Egg mixture. Perfect. And lastly, the cheese. Lisa, you want to put the cheese on?
Yes. Oh, love that Asiago cheese.
Mix it all together and let it cook until it's firm.
Great. All right, so now we can cover it and you can let it bake on the stovetop. We have one that's almost done here. And to speed up the process, if you want to do a flip, you can invert it with a pan and flip it over. And there you have your beautiful frittata. Enjoy that. It's been a pleasure with my sister Allie. Buonasera.
Salute.
See all our recipes at webcenter11.com.
Brought to you by Gambardella's Pasta Bella.
I'm always so hungry after I see those.
Never forget the wine. That's key.
Never.
That's
of
important.
Course.
Gotta have that, right? Absolutely. Joe, what's going on in sports tonight?
Well, first, nice to see you guys.
It's nice to see your face around here.
Yeah. But in sports tonight, we're talking Ice Dogs hockey. They take on a rival to end their great regular season, and we even have some high school soccer.
Already?
Yeah,
Yay,
it's
I
not
like
even
soccer.
April yet.
Wow.
Yeah,
Cool.
all that and more coming up next. Hello, Interior Alaska. Joe Joe Cook back in the Sports Seat for you this evening, bringing you some Thursday sports. Going into the last weekend of the regular season against Kenai River at the Dipper, the Ice Dogs have done just what any team would want. Fairbanks won their division title and the all-important NAHL regular season title with a 43-14-1 record, the most wins they've had since 2011 when they won the Robertson Cup. They'll have home ice throughout the playoffs with the new NAHL playoff format. The Dogs also won the Era Cup over intrastate rival Kenai River in the first half of the season, but the Brown Bears are fighting for the playoffs. Kenai is a point out of third place and has a 2-point lead over Cooley Region for that last playoff spot, so they can't afford to lose. Fairbanks is looking to build momentum going into the postseason, but Kenai has been an annoying little brother, if you will. The Ice Dogs are 8-2 in their last 10 games. Those 2 losses were to Kenai, who won the last meeting 4-2. The teams are too familiar with each other. Head coach Jeff Beauparlant was an Ice Dogs assistant last year. Both teams traded defensemen, with Ben Campbell going to Kenai and Jake Bushy coming over to Fairbanks. Colton Walters' twin brother Jacob is a Brown Bear as well. Head coach Trevor Stewart hopes his team plays with an edge against a team that will be playing for something.
They have a heightened sense of urgency. We found out last week that they're a tough team to play against. We kind of knew that, but that kind of reinforced what we had already known. So I'm sure this weekend should be a good competitive hockey games.
I mean, it's definitely something that we anticipated doing, and we worked hard to do it. And it's huge going into playoffs, giving us that home ice advantage throughout as far as we make it through playoffs. It's been a grind. It's a tough season to play in, but ending on Kenai, I think that's one of the best notes you can end it on, is a good rivalry.
It feels like everybody has more to give, so like we're not done. We won the Robbie Cup, and you know we're gonna start with playing Kenai this weekend. Nothing new there. We know the team and we know what we're gonna do, and at the end it's just gonna come down to hard work.
Now we have a little update on some former Nanook skaters. Andy Toronto scored 2 goals in the Alaska Aces last game. The 4-2 come from behind victory. Toronto recorded his 3rd multi-point game of the year for the Aces over the Bakersfield Condor. That win makes them 5-0-1 in 6 games, and they're 3-0-1 their last 4. The Aces have the best winning percentage in the ECHL at 69%. Toronto has 11 goals and 6 helpers this year for the Aces. The more recent Nooks like Colton Beck and Cody Kunik are finding their way professionally. Beck joined the St. John's Ice Caps for the AHL during their road trip, and he has appeared in a game, and he has a shot on goal. Cody Kunik has been learning a lot so far as part of the Tampa Bay Lightning. In an article by the Tampa Bay Times, teammates Alex Killorn and Steven Stamkos have noticed the WCHA Player of the Year is keeping up and hasn't messed up any drills as of late. And former UAF goalie Chad Johnson is on a roll for the Boston Bruins. He's won 5 starts, his last 5 starts. He's 10-0-1, his last 11. Johnson has a 2-0 shutout the Avalanche on the 21st. The Bruins are number 1 in the Eastern Conference. Johnson is 16-3-1 so far for the playoff-bound Bruins. And the West Valley Wolfpack boys soccer team, they're getting some action early in the spring to get a head start on the soccer season. The Wolfpack took on the Wasilla Warriors today at the Dome in Anchorage. West Valley won their 2014 season opener today with a 2-0 shutout victory over the Warriors. Junior Braden DeWeese provided the offense with 2 first-half goals in the 32nd and 35th minute for the Pack. Norman Walkwell and Harry Simpson had the assists. First-year player senior Keegan O'Brien got a shutout in his first game with the Pack as a goalie with 8 saves. Next, West Valley will play the Colony Knights, who were the 2013 state runner-up, tomorrow at noon to wrap up their early season non-conference road trip. So some early soccer action. A last note, if you want to volunteer for this weekend's So Not Kazoo this weekend, go to Webster11.com sports page for a direct link to the volunteer form. The 27th annual Kazoo is scheduled to start this Saturday morning at 9:30 a.m. for the 50K Classic mass start on the Chena River by the Centennial Bridge downtown. It's been a little warm, so the backup location is Birch Hill, with races starting at 10:30 a.m. on Saturday there. The Chena River is ruled unsafe. So to volunteer again, just go to Webster11.com. And that'll do it for sports tonight. Thanks for rocking with me for a little while. For more KTF sports, go to Twitter, YouTube, and get our app. You can also visit our website, Webster11.com. Mike Schultz is next with your full weather forecast, and we'll catch you next time.
Hey, welcome back, everyone. Mike Schultz with you once again, taking a look at the weather. My car keeps getting uglier because more melting going on. And I'm not going to get it washed for a while, though, but I'll tell you what, the melting is going to continue because we're looking at more 40-degree temperatures tomorrow into the weekend. We'll talk more about that in just a little bit. Little overflow going on in this area not too far away from the Fairbanks area up in the White Mountains. You're getting ready for a big race this weekend. Carlene Van Tol sent this photograph in here. Beautiful blue sky there. And again, as always, if you have a photograph you want to share, send it to photos at ktvf11.com. We'll share it with the rest of the audience. Numbers look like this. The high today, 36. Normally 30. The overnight low, 4 degrees. Actually, an overnight low should be 4 degrees. It was 0 last night. Record high, 53, 1940, 37 below in 1925. 13 hours and 11 minutes of beautiful sunshine, a gain of 7 minutes from yesterday. Satellite picture has changed a little bit. The clouds are moving out once again as high pressure begins to really establish itself, and that is not changing at all, not showing any signs of movement whatsoever. So we're going to be looking at this weather to continue at least into the first part of next week, the way it looks right now. What's going on across the rest of the state? Not a whole lot. A little cloudiness over southeast Alaska, sunshine around the Anchorage Bowl, clouds up and down the west coast. Nice weather up in the North Slope and around the Fort Yukon area, 32 degrees there. Lower 48 weather. Rain continues to fall over the Pacific Northwest, not reaching down as far as California, though. And more thunderstorms rumbling across the deep south, and some of those moving up into the northeast. And on the satellite radar, you can see a big blob of moisture moving across the Great Lakes, the pink indicating where the frozen precipitation is at. And down here, again, a pretty good frontal boundary, igniting some thunderstorm activity over the New Orleans area. Another storm system moving ashore in the Pacific Northwest. And the overall picture for tomorrow, once again, calling for more rain, moving all the way from California, or actually Northern California, all the way up to the west coast and the Washington area. So no break for those folks there. The overall jet stream this weekend showing again a good transition from the west to the east, pulling all that storminess across the northern half of the country, and then taking a dive down and bringing it once again over the northeast. Well, back to Alaska for tomorrow. Sunny skies expected for Barrow and Fort Yukon, decreasing clouds in the Nome area. Here in the interior, looking at sunny skies for Fairbanks and Healy, and a few breezes near the Delta Junction area. Over southeast Alaska, it looks like sunny skies at Juneau, and mostly cloudy in Ketchikan. While out to the southwest, we're looking at some rain and snow showers in the Cold Bay area, a few clouds at Bethel, and sunny skies for Kodiak Island. And around the Anchorage Bowl, if you're heading on down there, nice weather once again, mostly sunny for Anchorage, sunny in Valdez, and just partly cloudy for Homer. Time once again for our kids' weather. All this week we're talking with the kids from the Northern Lights Academy. But here's the teacher with a weather fact.
Hello, my name is Miss Janice, and I'm at Northern Lights Academy, and these are my students. We have a fun weather fact to share with you today. Class, did you know that one city in Indonesia records the most lightning in the world? Lightning strikes the city 9 out of every 10 days. Wow.
Oh my gosh. I would not want to live there.
I like lightning a lot, but I think after a while they get a little boring. Again, next week we'll be visiting with the kids from Ladd Elementary School. It's a Thursday night. Time real quickly, taking a look at our forecast. As you can see, absolutely no change expected. 3 degrees for the overnight low. Clear skies with light winds. Tomorrow's forecast, again, not much change. In fact, 40 degrees for the high. And the extended forecast calling for 40 degrees again on Saturday. Mid-30s right on through Wednesday. Overnight lows also warming up, looking at 5 degrees to 10 degrees each day with no precipitation in the forecast. This weather pattern is not showing any signs of change all the way through the middle part of next week. And we're looking at the weather to continue to be lots of sunshine over the weekend. So you can't knock that.
Really can't.
No,
So
I'll
we're just
take
on
it.
an upward trend right now.
Yeah, it's definitely spring, that's for sure.
Well, definitely, like you were mentioning earlier this week, the medians along the roads, they're pretty much all clear there.
Yeah, I think I actually saw some green grass.
Green grass?
Green or you mean brown?
Where?
Maybe just my
Was it
sunglasses.
growing or was it frozen
Maybe
from
my
last?
sunglasses.
Possibly.
I think it was your
Yeah.
sunglasses.
Yeah,
I don't know.
probably.
Possibly. But otherwise, perfect weather for this week. That's great. Thanks, Mike. That will wrap up this edition of the Fairbanks Evening News. We are glad you could join us.
Tonight on NBC Nightly News, the search for dozens of people still missing after that devastating mudslide in Washington State. That's coming up next with Lester Holt.
And tune in to Unstable Ground, a KTUU special report, which looks back on the earthquake that shook Alaska 50 years ago. It airs here on Channel 11, Saturday, March 29th at 7 p.m.
We're going to leave you tonight with some really nice sculpture work out there at Fort Wainwright at the Bassett Army Hospital. With that, have a good night, and we'll see you back here at 11.